Welcome to Local SEO Unlocked, your ultimate guide for mastering local search marketing. Dive deep into the dynamic and ever-changing world of search. Whether you're aiming to boost visibility or engage local customers, this podcast is your pathway to not just being seen, but becoming a local favorite. Now, here's your host, Christian Hustle.
76% of people who search on their smartphone for something nearby visit a business within a day, which is why in this video, we're going to talk about how to capitalize on those searches by doing the proper keyword research for your business. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome to the Local SEO Unlocked channel. My name is Christian Hustle, and for the last 12 years, I have been working with hundreds of different brands, whether they're local or nationwide, to help them rank on search. I've driven millions of organic visits, just like the example of this client here, a local restaurant in the Austin market, who is ranking number 1 for seafood restaurants all across the market and is driving tons of customers into the door. And although for this client, we did a lot of local SEO strategy, and I'll talk about this strategy in a different video, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. Still, one thing is for sure, every local SEO strategy starts with keyword research. Now, here's the thing. Going after the wrong keywords from the get-go, from the beginning of your strategy, whether you're brand new at this or you're trying to revise the current strategy that your agency is working on, the wrong keyword strategy can break your entire SEO investment. So if you're doing it by yourself, it's probably going to be a waste of time because you're not going to go very far. Now, if you hire someone and they pick the wrong keywords, they have the wrong keyword strategy in place, then you're going to be wasting money, which also sucks. That's why regardless of whether you want to do this on your own or you want to hire someone, understanding keyword research, the importance of it, how it works, and how we pick the right keywords is crucial for your success. Now, all the information that I'm going to share with you today in this video is how we do it, right? This is our style of doing local keyword research. There's many different styles out there. I mean, some of them will be wrong, right? If it's the wrong keyword, you'll know it, right? You can see it in the metrics. But this is just my personal opinion. This is how at my agency we do it. So let's start talking a little bit about how do we pick those keywords and what does keyword research really mean? The importance of research is to really identify the competition. Can we really break into search results with our website, with whatever we have to offer right now? Because if it's too competitive and we pick those keywords, it might take us 2 years to rank. And I don't want that for you. In fact, my recommendations always focus on tiny cracks in the market where you can position yourself as into search results. This is going to help you provide ROI much faster, and then you can go after the more competitive keywords later as you gain traction in the space. So really the difference between succeeding and not succeeding is proper research. And that's why your local keyword research is going to be your first step in your strategy. Now, the entire process of keyword research is to really understand how your customers search for your products or services. Whether you are a nationwide brand with 500 locations or you're a mom and pop with just one location in town, the theory is the same. People are searching for your products or services, and we really need to understand how they search. What are they entering in that search box trying to find you? Because that's how we reverse engineer it. And now we know what we need to do to be in front of those searches. So now let's talk about how do we find those keywords that people are searching for? Well, there's a ton of tools out there that can help you with this. And I'm going to share my favorite 3 for you at different price or budget levels. So let's start with the free one. The free one is going to be Google search results itself. So I'm going to show you how to do it on Google search. No cost. I mean, you already seen these features that I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to show you how to use them for your local SEO keyword research. Then we have the affordable solution. Something that I've used for years is Ask the Public. It's a askthepublic.com. It's a really great solution to give you a bunch of keywords and great for content ideation as well. And then my favorite, which is going to require some budget behind it, I believe it starts around $130 a month, and that is SEMrush. SEMrush is an SEO software that, I have tons of tutorials of that in the channel, is the one that we use, and it works tremendously well. Again, those are 3 different ones. We use all 3 depending on the situation, depending on your situation, on your budget. I mean, if this is a one-time thing, you're never going to do it again. Maybe SEMrush might be an overkill. But who knows, right? Maybe you get a free trial and then just cancel it after. although you might like it a lot that you want to keep it. Okay, well, let's jump in and start our keyword research. We're going to start at a very basic level, just searching for keywords around your product or your service. Just pick one service. If you have multiple, pick one product. If you have multiple products, and you can just rinse and repeat once you're done with the first one. So let's go back to that restaurant that we were talking about. We know it's a restaurant and we know they focus on seafood. So we're going to start by going to Google and entering best restaurants in Austin. We're going to perform the search and we're going to see what comes out. We're going to scroll down and we're going to go to people also ask. These are going to be great content ideas, but we can get keywords out of these people also ask. As you start clicking on them, you can see the expansion, and Google is going to continue giving you more and more and more, as you can see. So the list can continue to grow. We can definitely get some ideas from here. So if we can scroll all the way to the bottom to the section where people also search for, Google themselves gives us what other keywords or how else is people searching for your product or your services. In this case, even though I search for best restaurants in Austin, Google is telling me that people are searching for best restaurants in Austin for dinner, best restaurants in Austin downtown, top 10 restaurants in Austin, best casual restaurants in Austin. So it's already giving me some really good recommendations. However, we can do better than restaurants, right? Because in the case of our client, we're talking about seafood. So let's start there. Let's start with seafood restaurants in Austin. And then let's see what else Google can give us. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom to the other type of keywords that Google is recommending. And here is giving us, seafood restaurants in Austin downtown with a view. What are the best ones? What are the best for dinner? Which ones are romantic? Which are Cajun? Which ones are Mexican seafood? Now we can start drilling it down, right? Now I'm going to get into which ones I would choose later. I'm going to continue to tool number 2, which, if you recall, that was our middle of the budget, Answer the Public. AnswerThePublic.com. Again, great tool. It's going to give you tons of keywords. Honestly, it might be a little too many, a little overwhelming. So be patient here. But I think that is going to give you some really good content ideas to drill down in the future as you go into phase 2. And I'll explain why. So in the tool, I enter seafood restaurant, just the same. And the default is showing me these wheels. They call them wheels, where basically it gives us, key indicators, and it groups all the keywords by words, right? Like all the keywords that contain the word where, all the keywords that contain the word which. They're a little bit hard to read, so my favorite is just to switch over to tables and look at it this way. So obviously here, there's going to be tons and tons of keywords. I am not recommending you pick all of them or do all of them. We need to be very, very strategic. And I'm going to show you the competition later. For now, I just want to know how people are searching. So people are looking for seafood restaurant near me. They're wondering if they're open. They're wondering which one is the best in the city. They're definitely adding the city in the keyword, and let's take a note of that because we're going to do it anyway. Just from experience, you always want to add the town if we're talking about local SEO, but this is the proof, right? Like people are adding the city into those keywords. Now I'm going to keep scrolling down, and you can see there's going to be tons and tons of different keywords. Here we have all the near me now, near my location. Then we're going to have seafood restaurants with bar or with a market, right? People are very specific in the way they search. And Google is very smart on giving those answers specifically to those type of searches. But the way that Google is going to know about these features that your restaurant or your business has is only if you're well optimized. If you are telling Google all the features and things that your business offers, if you don't do that in the proper way, right? How is Google going to know? How are customers going to find out? Again, that's for a future video, how to implement those keywords. For this, let's jump into our third tool. This is SEMrush. Again, SEMrush, I've been using it for well over 7 years. Basically, as soon as I was able to afford it for my agency or my consultancy, we bought it, right? And we still use it on a daily basis, multiple times a day. Very powerful software. Today, we're just talking about keyword research. So as you can see, I'm going to head over to Keyword Overview, and I'm going to start with my basic seafood restaurant keyword, which we have been doing on all the tools. For starters, It's a very clean UI, very clean interface, and I really like it. It's going to give us volume nationwide. It's going to give us keyword volume or keyword difficulty. It's also going to give us cost per click, which is going to come in handy in a second. But typically, I like to scroll down and start looking at this down here. So this is going to give me some examples in the entire country. I need to start at the country level because I need to understand how people search in the whole country before I even narrow it down to my city, because my city might be too small, right? Like if you're in a suburb, maybe we're not going to find a lot of data on how many people search per month versus the entire country, right? The entire US gives us a better understanding. Again, these are not the keywords that we're going to pick. This is just for us to start at the very top so we can drill down. So here we're seeing seafood restaurants near me. We're seeing tremendous, this is the #1 most searched keyword. It's also the most difficulty with the most competition. Now this is countrywide, nationwide, right? So we don't look at competition yet until we start looking at our local city keywords. So I'm going to keep going. Now we have seafood restaurants by itself, #2. #3, we have seafood restaurant near me. #4, best seafood restaurants near me. So it's all the variations, right? But let's focus on seafood restaurants. But we're going to start adding our city because I want to see what data we can get from Austin. So I'm going to type in seafood restaurant Austin. Now, data is going to look very different, right? Instead of 170,000 in the whole country, now we're talking about 170 searches per month. But keyword difficulty looks easy. And that's what we want, right? We want keywords that are going to be possible for us to rank to start with and that have decent volume. Now, cost per click, that is how much people or advertisers are paying to place an ad on search results. That means if they're not paying at all, cost per click is 0, that means advertisers are not paying for that keyword. That keyword may not be good at all. In this case, advertisers are paying 38 cents a click, which is actually extremely low. And there could be a reason why, right? I'll talk about that in a future video once we talk about Google Ads. But I'm going to keep scrolling down to keyword ideas. Now, from my seafood restaurant Austin keyword, there's 209 ideas, ideation, variations of it. I don't want them all. I don't need them all. You're probably going to get overwhelmed with 209 keywords if this is the first research you're doing. So we're going to start looking and see what is the #1 keyword with the Austin word in it. And to my surprise is restaurants in plural. So #1 with 1,600 searches, pretty difficult. It's medium difficult. It's actually kind of challenging to rank. The keyword is seafood restaurants Austin. Again, I personally wouldn't pick it. It's too complicated. It's very difficult. SEMrush gives us a difficulty level, calling it from basically going from 1 to 100, 1 being extremely easy, 100 being impossible. So in this case, a 44, SEMrush says is possible. This is one of those keywords that might take us 2 years to rank. For that reason, I'm going to look into the #2 on the list. Now we're talking about seafood restaurants in Austin, TX. Now we're talking, this is 1,000 searches a month. It's still incredibly good search volume and keyword difficulty of 25. Now, from 44 keyword difficulty down to 25, that is a big difference. This can mean 1 year difference or 2 year difference in ranking. So for that reason, that makes it a great keyword to start with. Now I'm going to scroll down here to the third one, best seafood restaurants in Austin. 320 people searching a month, 26 keyword difficulty. Again, still in that easy range. We may do it in a couple of months, depending on your website, how far you've done SEO or for how long, or if this is a brand new website that you just launched, it might take you longer. That gets us into the ranking factors that I'm going to talk about in a future video. So hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more about all the other ranking factors. But going back to our keyword research, SEMrush is also going to give us a little bit of a keyword strategy on how to differentiate and how to group those keywords, because as you can see, all these keywords still talk about seafood restaurants. It's just variations, right? So we can assign them all to a specific page and repurpose the same page for a bunch of different ones. Which brings me to my next point. Once you start looking at this, right, and by the way, you can expand this list. You can go much deeper. You can now look at all the keywords on your screen, all their volumes, cost per click. And then the most important thing is, what is the intent? What is that person searching for that keyword intending to do? Are they just looking for education, just for blogs, just for articles? Or is it commercial intent? That means they're ready to buy, they're ready to purchase from you. But let's say that we start picking out those keywords and we identify 5 for our Austin page. I'm gonna add them onto a spreadsheet, right? And this is what one of the spreadsheets for this specific client, what it looks like, and how we break it down. We basically add keywords by URL or by page on your website. So there's gonna be some keywords for your homepage. There's gonna be keywords for your product page. There's gonna be keywords for your service page. And a spreadsheet is gonna make it very easy for you to identify what keywords go in what URL. Now, the important thing that I wanna call out, you do not want similar keywords on 2 pages, okay? Again, you don't want to do that because all you're going to do is confuse Google, and then they're not going to know which URL page to rank for that keyword because they're too similar. So try to keep it very precise, very strategic, the keywords that you add to page 1 versus page 2. So in this case, if we create a page for Georgetown, which is up north from Austin, we focus all our keywords in Georgetown. And then we create another page for Austin where we only focus on keywords for Austin. Again, this is a very common mistake that now that you're watching this video, I want you to avoid it. It could be very costly and you're gonna learn it the hard way, as I did many years ago when I started, but it's very common for people to wanna add the same keyword over and over on all the pages. So do not do that. Be very strategic. That's where the spreadsheet is going to help, and try to be very specific on keywords by URL and do not let them cross over. All right. Well, now that you have this spreadsheet, you are done with your keyword research. Next step is implement the strategy, but that's for a future video. So smash that subscribe button if you don't want to miss it. We're going to talk about the full guide, how to implement the full SEO strategy for your local business using your keyword research. So let me know in the comments if you found value on this. If you have any questions, happy to help with that. Thank you so much for watching. Keep hustling.
Thanks for tuning in to Local SEO Unlocked. For more resources to help you succeed in local search marketing, visit us at woobound.com/podcast. Don't miss out on becoming the local favorite. Join us next time for more insights and strategies. Until then, keep hustling.